what about if I take that one particular thing that I really love about this room and I'm going to kind of just crank up the volume on that, if you like. So I've got a particular colour that I really love, and I'm going to take cushion colours from that, and I'm going to tone greens for the cushion colours, or I'm going to pick up that colour in a rug, for example. So now, without having to change everything, you can turn up something that you really love about the room by using the accents in a different way. I'm Elaine Penhaul, and I'm the founder of Lemon and Lime Interiors, and I'm here today with Castle Fine Art, sharing my top tips of how to make your house feel like a home. Home means different things to different people. For many of us, home has become a workspace as well as our living space, as well as our sanctuary from the rigours of a day. And it's really important to think about what you want your home to be before you start getting too involved in the detail of the interior decor and the styling. Many of us entertain in our homes. Many of us do more informal entertaining these days, and people come over to eat or to go out together, or we will often have people coming to our homes, friends coming to our homes, and using the decor in the rooms that are kind of public facing, if you like, that your friends see, that your guests see. What is it that you're trying to say about welcoming your guests into those spaces that everybody is coming into? And that can be determined by the decor, by what you're putting on the walls in terms of colour or art, or trends of furniture, mixing up furniture and thinking about trends there as well. Choose a favourite element within a room to help you restyle a room without necessarily having to change absolutely everything. Most of us on a daily basis walk past a huge amount of stuff, and we know, yes, I really like that, or I really don't like that, and that might be about a whole room or about a part of a room. And we don't really take the time to unpick exactly what it is that we really like about it. So you might like one particular thing about it, and being able to identify what that one particular thing is will then allow us to say, hey, what about then, I want to change decor here. What about if I take that one particular thing that I really love about this room, and I'm going to kind of just crank up the volume on that, if you like. So I've got a particular colour that I really love, and there's elements of that colour in this room. Let's crank up that colour. So now I'm going to take a green, for example, from a particular piece of art, but actually the rest of the room doesn't really pick up that green. So now let's focus on the green, and I'm going to take cushion colours from that, and I'm going to tone greens for the cushion colours, or I'm going to take that and change the blinds or the curtains, or I'm going to pick up that colour in a rug, for example. So now, without having to change everything, you can turn up something that you really love about the room by using the accents in a different way. Don't be afraid to go bold in your home. Don't be afraid to take a risk. Very often people will play safe because they don't understand how to take a small risk to start with, because they love a trend or they love a particular colour and are concerned that if it doesn't work for them, it might be an expensive fix. And of course there are lots of ways around that. First of all, painting, especially if you do it yourselves, is generally not an expensive fix. You might get it wrong. If you're not brave enough to try it, then you're never going to get it absolutely right either. It's always going to be a bit of a compromise. There are many galleries, and I know Castle Fine Art is very good at bringing art to a home and putting it in situ, for example, before there's a commitment to buy an expensive piece. And that can be a really good way. These days, There's a lot of furniture around, for example, that you can use to rent on a very short-term basis to try a trend. So yeah, I think go for it, really. Try it in a small quantity first, and then bring it in, and you will understand, you'll begin to understand that being brave is going to give you what you really want, rather than endlessly compromising and choosing the safe option. Many people will go on holiday, for example, and buy a piece of art that they fall in love with on holiday, or they might come back with a beautiful photograph that they've taken on holiday and really fall in love with the feeling that they get from the art, that the art invokes for them, both from the subject matter and also from the memory of where they bought the art, whether that was on holiday or whether it was out for a lovely day out with friends. And they really want that feeling back when they come home. And many people will come home and simply put that piece of art on the wall and then not really understand why they don't get that feeling with it again. So important to remember that if you bring home a piece of art, whether it's from the gallery where you've just been shopping, or whether it's from holiday, whatever it is, to think about how it's going to sit on the wall, and that you can actually then arrange the rest of the decor around the art. And from there, begin to think, oh, yes, actually I've got it. So it's not stuck in the corner where it fits, but that it does become central and prominent, and you get back the feeling. Many things can make a room memorable, and one of my top tips is to ensure that there isn't too much in a room which could potentially be a memorable feature, because if you have too many memorable features in a room, then there's a lot of what we would refer to as visual noise, and all the memorable things compete with one another. For a room to be memorable, the key thing is that for one thing to be memorable and to style around it, and it may be a colour, and so the art, for example, is chosen to reflect that colour, to pick up that colour, to draw it out. So beautiful greens outside. So where we do a lot of work in the Derbyshire countryside, for example, there's a lot of green outside. Bringing that green inside on a wall colour, or in a painting or a photograph, a wall hanging, is a really good way of making a room memorable. And nobody will go in thinking, oh, that's what's making that room memorable. But it's about that room becoming memorable because of what sticks. Oh, fantastic. It looks amazing.